Whoa.
What the?
I'm Spiderman. I need you to come with me.
Who the heck are you?
I just told you that. Listen. I'm from the future.
How dare you point at me?
You were pointing first.
It's rude to point.
You're being very rude. You're not even believing what I'm saying.
Which one pointed first?
Spider-Man pointed first, obviously.
What's up, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legends retro card, new version of the Spider-Man 2099. But first, before we get into the figure, let's take a look at the packaging. And it's a little out of frame because it is a huge box, or packaging and whatnot. But it's the usual retro card packaging and everything. Got a nice little picture of the 2099 Spidey right there. And then, you got your usual bubble card and whatnot with the box and everything. There's the rest from the wave. Didn't want anybody else because, well, it's not that I don't know them. It's just that I don't really care, to be honest. I honestly could give less of a shit about some of these characters on the back, to be honest. Besides Spider-Man 2099, because fuck with Spidey 2099. And no, it doesn't mean I'm a LARPer or anything. It's just that these are characters that just don't fit in my collection. I know of them. I could even say it right now. That's Nightcrawler Spider-Man, even though it does say it. That is Spider-Venom, which is from the Ultimate Spider-Man run. Marvel's Owl from Marvel Knights. Hypno Hustler from, way back in the day. He's like a C, B tier-ish villain. I wouldn't even say B tier, maybe just a C or D tier. And Cardiac, somewhat the same ball game as Hypno Hustler, but yeah. So yeah, I'm not a LARPer. I will not be hit with those LARP allegations, not anytime soon, at least. But anyway, that's it for the packaging. Really not much to talk about. So let's get into the figure. So since we've taken a look at the packaging, let's take a look at the figure, and we'll go over the details and everything first and foremost, because I do plan on doing a paint job to him. So we'll just take a look at this figure. Now, the body, I'm pretty sure, is the Renew Your Vows body, at least slightly retooled. But of course, we do have a pinless 2099 Spidey here, and 2099 Spidey is like my favorite, or at least one of my favorite variants of Spider-Man. He's just so cool. I love his costume and everything. This is my favorite of his costumes. He has a couple other different ones, but this one's just way too classic and just way too damn good. And there you have, of course, he does have his web cape too. The web cape is just so iconic. I just absolutely love 2099 Spider-Man. And this is a really great body. He was definitely deserved to get a better body because he was on the Pizza Spidey body mold for way too long. Too long. Just too long. But this is a great body for him. It's very nice and muscular. It's just absolutely perfect. I do really love this shade of blue that they did with the red stripe on the arms and everything. And of course, you got these sculpted in little spikes there. It is just a beautiful looking figure. And of course, that head sculpt is just absolutely amazing. I love this thing. It is just so clean. And this web cape got that nice, like, pearlescent sheen. It's not really coming on camera all too well, but it does have, like, this, like, very nice pearlescent sheen. It's a lot better off camera because it's got a little bit more of a shine to it. But this thing is absolutely beautiful. I love this figure. But without further ado, there's not a whole lot to talk about with details. It does have a very cleanly done spider logo. So let's go ahead and just get him painted up. And there we have it. I went ahead and painted up 2099 Spidey. I did a comic shade on him, which I've already worked with cell shading. I did a comic shade on him, and I've already worked with cell shading. I've been working with comic shading a little bit here and there to try and perfect my comic shading. I think I did a pretty good job with this one, although the natural blue that is on this figure is a little bit hard to see. Some of that comic shading, so I'm going to have to bring them up close to the camera. But you can definitely tell there's a difference, especially with the cape, but there is a difference with the body. So I will go over my paint work that I did with the figure here. Let me just bring my camera around just a little bit because it's a little bit out of, not centered. But taking a closer look, now when I bring it in, you can kind of see some of that comic shading. So you see some of the little hash marks and strokes and everything throughout the figure. You can see there on the legs and on the feet there just a little bit. It's very hard to pick out, but it is definitely there. And it does cast a shadow on him, especially on the head sculpt there. I really like how the head came out with all the shading and everything. Again, I do apologize for it being really hard to see. It's just with this natural, dark blue, it is a bit difficult, but you can see the comic shade on him. And I even did, the inside of the arms with the, his, little fin things on the arms. That way it kind of, gives that shading effect. And, you can see with the cape, too, as well. So, let me just take the cape off. Yeah, a little bit on the back. Not a whole lot, but definitely a little bit of shading there on the back and everything. The cape was pretty cool. I really do like how I just straight up outlined the webbing on the cape. I think it really pops, especially when it's on the figure and everything. It just looks really, really good. Plus, if you have it blowing around and stuff, this thing looks sick now. I absolutely love this. I mean, this is overall just a great 2099 Spidey in general, but just having the cape like that and everything just makes it look so much cooler. But yeah, you can see all the different little bits of shading I did on the the legs, thighs, and everything, shins, feet, etc. And even on the symbol there, I do apologize for it being again just a little hard to see just because of the natural darkness of this blue, but I think it came out pretty great. Now, of course, there might be some people who think, "Oh, this thing sucks. Oh, this is terrible," but it is not easy doing comic shading, even though I love doing it. I still do it on the neck there too, and everything. I just like my figures to feel like they just came straight off the page, and I think he just looks so much better looking exactly like this. With the details and everything done, let's take a look at the accessories. So first off, for accessories, he does come with these two pairs of fists, which all the hands and everything have the painted detail on and everything. You kind of see the shading actually a little bit better when it's all zoomed in like this. But you do also get a pair of wall crawling hands. And you do get a pair of the classic 2099 Spidey claw hands. And if you want to count the cape as an accessory, you technically can. So you do also get the cape too as well. Not a whole bunch of accessories, but you get what you need for a 2099 Spidey. Now that we've taken a look at accessories, let's take a look at his articulation. So articulation for this Spidey is going to be pretty standard with Legends. There's nothing going to be crazy new or different. I'm pretty sure it uses the Renew Your Vows body mold, but we'll just go ahead and take the cape off. But before we do that, there's some kind of articulation there, if you can really count that. But the head can go side to side pretty good. Do a full 360. It is on the dumbbell joint, so you can go up about that far, down about that far, and then the arms are on a butterfly, so they go forward about, go forward about that far, back pretty much all the way. And then you can do, of course, a full 360 with the arm there. The arm does go up pretty decent amount, but does get a little bit sticky. So I think probably about right there. I don't want to push any further. And then you do get a bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows, then the usual hinge and swivel for the the wrists and stuff. You do have a diaphragm joint, so you can go side to side, it's a little stiff. Do all the way around if you really wanted to. You can crunch forward about that far with the diaphragm, back about that far with the diaphragm. Then he has the regular crunch, so you can go forward pretty much about that far with both of them, and back pretty much all the way with both of them, which is pretty nice. The legs do have a bit of a drop down feature there. You can drop them down, then they kick forward about that far. Back, not so much because the butt does have a thigh swivel. Double jointed pinless knees, boot cut, Then the foot, I don't know if it wants to work with me. Sometimes these Legends joints get a little stiff nowadays. But foot can go up about that far. And down pretty much all the way. Then you have your regular ankle, ankle pivot. And then a toe joint, which is pretty cool. It's nice to get toe joints nowadays with most Spidey figures. Not all of them get it now anymore, which kind of sucks. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the articulation of this 2099 Spidey. I think it's about time we get into a post-test. So I hope you enjoyed that pose test, and we'll get on to the scale of this 2099 Spidey. But first and foremost, here's the picture I did of this figure and my Instagram. If you would like to follow my Instagram for more action figure pictures and such. And of course, here is also my girlfriend's TikTok, in case you want to get some art commissioned or whatnot, because my girlfriend does art commissions, and I also do commissions myself too as well. So if you want a figure commission, just go ahead and DM me on Instagram. If you want just some regular artwork commission, go ahead and DM my girlfriend on TikTok. But without further ado, let's get into scale. Finally, all right. So first up on the scale, I'll just put them next to the Maximum Series Spidey, since they somewhat closely share a similar body. Because technically, Maximum Spidey is a retool of the Rear Brow's body, somewhat, mostly with some certain areas, but I think they look pretty nice together. I think they do fit, especially since both of these characters are from the 90s. Well, at least this version of Spider-Man is. So there he is next to Maximum Spidey. And then, just for giggles and shits, here he is next to little Lego 2099 Spidey. And then next up, here he is next to the very terrible and very much a letdown Spider-Verse 2099 Spidey. Yeah, the new one's better. This one is terrible and cannot stand for shit at all. You just want to keep blinking because he's 20 ass feet. Alright. And then just lastly, I'm not going to do too many because this video is probably getting a little bit too long in general, but here we have him next to the Spider-Man Unlimited Spider-Man. And the reason I do this comparison and everything is because, well, when Spider-Man Unlimited, the show, was coming out, originally it was supposed to be a 2099 show to compete with the Batman Beyond series, but for some weird reason, they scrapped that idea, and they just went with this, which, I mean, this is still cool. I still like this, but it definitely was a bit strange, and you can tell the inspiration from 2099 Spidey with Spidey Unlimited, but still, it's very cool to see the contrast between the two different characters and different suits, but still while being similar. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the little comparisons I have. Now, let's just go over some of the final thoughts. As for the final thoughts on this figure, it's a really great Spider-Man 2099 figure. Even without the shading, it's still a really great figure. I just think the shading just adds a lot to it, and it just sucks that the color itself of the blue is just super, super dark, that the shading is hard to pick out on camera, but it just looks so nice, in person, just nicely shaded and just done up so perfectly. I love this body mold for this specific figure. If I had any gripes, it's that, it didn't come with, just some, web shooting hands, that had molded claws on it or anything. Just because sometimes he does do the classic Spidey thwip, But overall, it is a pretty good figure. I'm a little bit iffy on the head sculpt, a little bit, but, you know, it is pretty classic enough. But anyway, that's it for this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next.
I've heard it 1,000 times before, and it's just not that funny anymore.